It's time for Recipe of the Day. Wednesdays require an easy dinner, am I right? And nothing makes dinner easier than a really simple side dish that's also kind of special. If you have a simple side dish that's special, it can make the whole rest of the dinner seem special, even if it's just boring. So if you have these cubed up air fryer sweet potato bits with a nice seasoning on them, I'll talk about seasonings in a bit, and then you serve them with like a piece of salmon and some salad or like chicken and salad, anything really, the dinner is going to seem great because those sweet potato bits are so great, you know? So the type of sweet potato that you use doesn't really matter. The most common variety that we find in the US and Canada is the Beauregard, which is that orange flesh with kind of like a russet brown skin. You can find varieties with purple or white flesh, and those are going to work just great, but they're just less commonly found in the stores. The more important thing is the size of the sweet potato. Once you've cubed it into half-inch pieces, you want it to sit in your air fryer in kind of like a single layer. A couple on top of each other here and there is fine, but mostly a single layer so that the air can circulate around them, which is going to get you more of that browning on the outside, the caramelization that makes sweet potatoes taste so good, right? So my air fryer basket will hold 2 medium-sized sweet potatoes cut up into 1/2-inch cubes. If yours is bigger, you could do more at a time. If it's smaller, you will do less at a time. If you're asking why I'm cutting them up at all, there are 3 reasons. So you can, of course, cook a whole sweet potato in the air fryer. And you know what? I'll just tell you how right now. Just poke it all over with a fork and you're going to put it into the air fryer, not wrapped in foil or anything, at 370 degrees Fahrenheit until it's fork tender, which will take 35 to 40 minutes. You can do as many as will fit in your air fryer basket without touching. And you can, if you want to, optionally rub them with some olive oil and sprinkle with salt before cooking. But depending what you're using them for, that might not be a necessary step. So you can totally do that. But why would you want to cube them up instead? I have 3 reasons for that. First, with the cubes, everyone can take the amount of cubes that they want, and they don't have to commit to a whole sweet potato or a whole half of a sweet potato. You know, if you just want a few, you can just have a few. And I'll say in my household, people don't love sweet potato as much as I do, so they don't necessarily want like a whole big half of one, right? The second reason is that they cook more quickly. Those cubes are ready in under 10 minutes. If you'd like, you can put them longer if you want them more browned, but really you can have them ready in 10 minutes, which is such a great thing for a quick dinner. Now, third, like when I'm making home fries in the air fryer, and I'm going to link to my air fryer home fry recipe for you. When I'm doing those, you want to get that browned outside and you get more surface area when they're cubed than when they're whole or half, which means with the sweet potatoes in particular, you're getting more of that nice browning caramelization. So cutting them up gives you more surface area, which is definitely going to be better. So then you are cutting up those sweet potatoes into 1/2-inch cubes. You can peel them first if you want to or not, up to you. It doesn't really change the flavor or the texture, but the skin actually does have more fiber and nutrients. So if that is something you want, then you'd want to leave the skin on for sure. So then put them into a large bowl. That's 2 medium sweet potatoes, about 12 ounces total, so 6 ounces each. And you're putting them into that bowl with a tablespoon of olive oil and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. I will say that this is just the simple basic method, so I haven't added more seasonings there, but you can of course jazz them up in a million different ways, and I have suggestions for you. Generally speaking, for the amount of sweet potato that I'm calling for, you can use a 1/2 teaspoon of seasoning, usually made up of 2 different seasonings. So 1/4 teaspoon of each. Some great combinations are curry powder and cinnamon, or some chili powder with garlic powder, or you could do some smoked paprika with some dried thyme leaves. Oh, I really like cardamom and allspice together on there. And then my last suggestion is cumin and coriander. Really nice flavor combinations, a 1/4 teaspoon of each for like 2 medium sweet potatoes. So you're tossing your sweet potato cubes with the oil and the salt and pepper and then whatever other seasonings you've added, and give that a good toss so that they're all coated in the oil. And then you're putting them into the air fryer at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 minutes. At that point, give them a shake to move them all around and then continue to cook them until they're fork tender, which will take about 5 to 8 minutes more. They will be starting to brown on the outside at that point. If you want them more brown, you can go another couple of minutes. Just be careful because as they brown on the outside, they start to dry out a little bit inside and shrivel up a little, and then they're less tasty. You want that perfect sweet spot of browned on the outside, but still with some meaty, nice texture, not dry on the inside. So it's going to be, like I said, 5 minutes first, then a shake, then 5 to 8 minutes more, possibly another 2 to 3 minutes to get a little more browning if you'd like, for a total of 10 to 16 minutes. That's including the first 5 minutes and then the second 5 to 8 and then up to 3 minutes more. And that's it. Give them a little shake again and then transfer them to a serving bowl or use tongs to transfer them to your dinner plates and dig in, add those other elements to your dinner like a protein and a salad, and you've got your easy weeknight dinner. I will put the link to this recipe in the show notes for this podcast episode, or you can head to cookthestory.com/ROTD and get it there. Everything there is arranged by date, so it's helpful to know that today is August 6th of 2025. And if you want to get more recipe of the day episodes, I choose the right thing for you all the time to help your dinner indecision, to figure out what you should make tonight or in the days ahead when you're meal planning. I'm here every day with a new idea. Make sure you're subscribed. To go on your phone to your favorite podcast app and search for Recipe of the Day. You will find me there. Subscribe or follow. I'm Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookful.com, the all new chicken cookbook, and from this podcast, Recipe of the Day. I hope you have a great day. Let's get cooking.